my first 6 months, so many times I was just like about to give up. Um, it was tough. If we don't get this done, everyone's going to know and everyone's going to hate me. And I got to think about this.
His name is Russ. He bought that mic. And now he's got a podcast show.
What is your why? I mean, why do you get up every day and do what you do?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think a lot of it has to do with helping people. Like, there's nothing that makes me feel better than closing a loan and helping someone get their first flip done, adding to their rental portfolio, helping them grow to business where they want to be. And then it's also just building an empire of my own. At 24 years old, I think having this job has helped me kind of look at all aspects of real estate, and from the investor's view, from the lender's view, from so many different aspects. It's helped me kind of gain this Rolodex of stuff to be able to go ahead and do my own stuff in the next, 5 years to build an empire and build generational wealth for my family. That's the goal. Yeah.
I love it. And having done business with you, it shines through. You're very good at communicating. I always knew what was going on. There's great communication, which as a client or a customer, I don't know which one I am, really, really appreciate that. So I like you immediately when I met you. And I think that you mentioned it earlier. We do business with people that we know, like, and trust.
Yep.
And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
First, I need to know you. I kind of need to like you. And then most importantly, I need to trust you.
Yeah.
And so we're there.
Thank you. Yeah, the first year, like, gaining trust from everyone was the hardest part.
Yeah.
I think there was loans where I was like, if we don't get this done, like, everyone's going to know and everyone's going to hate me and no one's going to want to do loans with me. So, like, we found ways to get it done. So it's that first year is super important.
Yeah, it is. My one of my mentors said, you think about your business, you build a rocket ship, and you build it, you fuel it, and then you light it, and it sits there and just rumbles and takes off very, very slowly.
Yeah.
But once you can get it up in the atmosphere or out of the atmosphere, then the orbit's easy.
Yep.
Much easier. You have to correct it and, maintain it, but it's that initial breaking gravity's pull, getting in the door. Charleston's, as you said, we have a fantastic community of investors here, but it like any place is kind of a closed system. People we're doing business with, so
yeah,
you had to break in.
Yeah, it's I totally get that. It's like you said, the trust. You know them, you know that they'll get it done. So, like, for people to give me a shot at 23 years old, not really knowing much about it, it was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you've done very, very well, and congratulations on the upcoming wedding.
Thank you. Appreciate it. The destination wedding.
Your house looks great. I saw some pictures online of the bathrooms and getting it all wrapped up. So super cool to be 24 years old and have a nice house in a nice area and a great job. Reaching out to people who are watching or listening, we like to let people know that anybody can do what you do if they'll just take the steps that you take.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, like you said, taking the step is one. And then my motto is just consistency. The last 2 years, every morning I'm at my desk at 8:30 a.m. making cold calls. That's just what I do, and I'm consistent with it. It's what gets you business. So the consistency has been super important for me. And then just not my first 6 months, so many times I was just about to give up. And it was tough for me to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I think that consistency helped me, just put my head down, not worry about anything else except closing business, and get me to where I wanted to be, which is where I am now. But there's always more goals to hit. So that consistency and just enjoying the journey, I think, is the best way to think about it. Like we've talked about many times, I think there's a book called Trophies where you get a trophy, you hit your goal, and you're sitting there and you're not happy, you're not, feeling any joy, when at the end of the day, the joy is in the journey, and enjoying that is the most important part.
Yeah, The Trophy Effect by Michael Nitti.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I found myself in your position. I'm 30 years older than you are, but 25 years ago, I found myself in that position of 6 months with a new company when I moved to St. Louis.
Yeah.
And they were paying me a draw against future commissions. It was a straight commission job, but there was a draw so I could eat
Yeah.
for feed my family for 6 months. And the general manager called me in his office and said, okay, Dave and Gary want to know what's going on because you haven't sold anything in 6 months. And he said, what do you have? So I went, he said, bring all your folders from your desk and we'll sit down. So we went through and I showed him, I'm going to sell this and this and this and this and this and this and this in the next month to 2 months, 2 months maximum. And he kind of laughed and he was like, go back to work. He said, he said, I'm not the least bit worried because I had a track record before that
Yeah.
with another company. And he said, Gary and Dave just want to know that you're not, I said, I can't live on the draw. I got to make these commissions.
Exactly.
The draw is barely enough to keep the lights on. And so I'm motivated and I showed him and he was literally belly laughing, like, just go back to your desk, go to work.
Yeah.
Because of that consistency of, every conversation is critically important.
Yep.
Every single one is critically important. And I get lazy and forget that sometimes. So it's good to hear from you about the consistency, and everything builds on everything else.
Yep. And that's a trait that I think I got from my dad. He's consistent in everything he does in his life. And that's, I think, why I look up to him and why I have that motivation.
Yeah, he's a fireball.
Yeah.
He really is a ball of energy. You're very laid back. Your dad is just like,
I didn't get that. Yeah, I wish I had that gift, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he's very pleasant. It's not upsetting or anything, but he's just like, go, 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 go. And the 10 minutes I spent with him in person and, a little time on the phone, it's like, all right, good. How's the, and I'm trying to keep up with him.
Yeah.
But he's a dynamo for sure.
After like a 10-minute phone call with him, I'm like ready to take a nap or something. It's crazy.
Well, he instilled that consistency in you. And as somebody in the insurance business, I know there's a ton of building that business to get anywhere. And the mortgage business too. I mean, you're in kind of a unique kind of mortgage business, building your customer base and, I'll be a repeat customer. And that's really the best thing any of us can hope for.
Yeah.
Even in my flipping and back in the wholesaling days, I bought 2 houses from a woman who was a nurse because her mother passed away and then her brain injury on the job and needed to go into assisted living. So once I bought the first house from her, she sold me the second house. And then we had a guy we bought 7 houses from.
Yeah.
Somebody else we bought 8. It's that repeat business and you'll do that. I mean, I'm sure you've got lots of people who are coming back because the service is so good.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm executing on my end and you guys are executing on your end, we do as much as, there is. So.
Yeah, you're definitely providing value, and everybody in your company's been easy to work with.
No, thank you for that. It means a lot. And at the end of the day, it's the borrowers like you that are easy to work with that makes me get up in the mornings.
I try, but I'm not the most meticulous record keeper. But I do the best I can.
It's all about the organization. As long as you're organized on your end and get docs over in a timely manner, the deals get to the closing table quick.
Yes, definitely. Getting the signal from Ryan.
Wow, we're at an hour. Jeez.
We'll see what's next. Yeah, we try to go a bit over an hour. Oh, I love this. It's a great question. What is it that you wish more borrowers knew?
Wow, jeez. I don't want to give a stupid answer. I got to think about this.
Take your time looking at it.
This is going to sound interesting, but like for a lot of the new borrowers I talk to, I wish they knew how much capital is out there and how many different types of lenders there are. Because I talk to people every day that are talking to me about doing their first deal. And for us, it's tougher to do deals where the borrower doesn't have experience. So like, I'm glad to make introductions to private lenders and hard money lenders that don't have an issue with that. So like being able to have a diversified capital stack of lenders is probably the most important thing you can have, in my opinion. And every borrower should have more than one lender. Because you never know if that capital is going to go dry the next day, and then you're sitting there at the closing table losing on a deal. So having a diversified group of lenders is super important.
I love that. I have been pretty successful with private lenders over the years because my coach drilled that into me from the very beginning.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Tim said, I think I'm quoting this correctly, he had done hundreds and hundreds of deals on apartment buildings, houses, and had never used hard money at all private lenders.
Crazy.
So he really taught us how, and I'll share this with the audience, building on what Vinny shared, is you already listening, watching, you already know people who are perfect private lenders. They don't know it and you don't know it. So making that connection, and the big mental shift that I had to make at the beginning was I'm not begging them for money.
Yes.
A good return on your investment secured by real estate in one of the best markets in the country with a promissory note and a mortgage, just like a bank. So, Joe that I'm talking to and saying, do you know anybody who might be interested in something like that? Not going to him directly, but do you know anybody? And that has worked for me in several ways where people will say, no, I don't really care about that or understand. People will say, well, I'd like to hear more about that. Or literally 4 months ago, I had somebody say, I understand what you're talking about. I'm topped out, but my brother wants to do that. And literally his brother what became my lender. So having conventional lenders, I think you're more of a creative lender, and then the hard money lenders and private lenders. The private lenders are gold.
Yeah.
As you said, I love that you brought that up because you could see that as competition for yourself, but it really isn't. It's an augmentation of what you do.
Yep. 100%. You want to have relationships in place if a case that ever happens, Yeah.
Yeah. Without exaggeration, I was lying in bed at 3 a.m. thinking about what's my plan B for several situations.
Yeah.
And what's the plan B? What's plan B? And Dusty Keefe, who's my coaching partner and a good friend, just talks about that all the time. It's like, not everything works the way you think it's going to work. So let's go full steam on plan A until, it's obvious that that's not going to work. Then what's plan B and maybe plan C? And I think that's the point you were making is have multiple avenues. I've not heard of, I've not experienced that, and I hope to never experience that as a borrower. You're trying to get a project done, and you submit a draw request, and your lender's out of business.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. So having a backup plan and being able to, so you were able to refi people out of those.
Yeah, because they have so much equity in the deal from the work they've done that most of the time they didn't have to bring cash to close our loan, so it works out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good knowledge. I appreciate you sharing that.